Hey Doya Koro Sita Pati Advaita Pragota Sika Bole Kai Hey Chaitanya Nitai Doya Ha Swarup Sanatana Ruparaguna Bhata Yuga Jiva Prabhu Lokina Oh Ha Swarup Sanatana Ruparaguna Bhata Yuga Jiva Prabhu Lokina Hey Goya Koro Shia Chaya Prabhu Shiniva Samachandra Gangamagi Hey Narotamuda Shia Chaya Prabhu Shiniva Hey Doya Koro Shia Chaya Prabhu Shiniva Ramachandra Ganganagi Hey Narotamuda Univas Jaya Radha Madhava Jaya Kunja Bihari Jaya 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 Radha Madhava Jaya Kunja Bihari Jaya Gopi Jana Balava Jaya Girivardhari Jaya Girivardhari Gopi Jana Balava Jaya Girivardhari Jaya Girivardhari Jaya Yashoda Nandana Jaya Braja Janaranjana Jaya Braja Jana Ranjana Yashodanandana Jaya Vrajajana Ranjana Jaya Vrajajana Ranjana Nanda Yashodanandana Jaya Vrajajana Ranjana Jaya Vrajajana Ranjana Jaya Yamuna Tiravarachari Jaya Javihari Jaya Jaya Yamuna Tiravarachari Jaya Javihari Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna, Krishna Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama, Rama Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hey! Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Jnanatimidandasya janaganasalakaya Chakshusmilitam jena tasmai Shri Gurave Namaha Shri Chaitanya Manubhistam Shapitam jena bhutale Swayam Rupa Karamaya Dadati Sa Parantikam Vandeham Shri Guru Shri Yata Bharakamalam Shri Guru Vaishnavamscha Shri Rupam Sagajatan Saganadaganatan Vitam Sajivam Sadvaitam Sadvarutam Parijana Sahitam Krishna Chaitanya Devam Shri Radha Krishna Padan Sagana Lalita Shri Vishaka Vitamscha He Krishna Korana Sindhu Dinabandhu Jagatpate Gopisha Gopika Tanamostute Vanchakalpa Tiruvascha Kripa Sindhu Vaevacha Patitanam Pavanebhyo Vaishnavebhyo Namo Namaha Shri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Shri Advaita Gadadha Shri Vasari Gaura Bhaktavinda Hare Krishna Nanda Hare Hare. Give me that verse on the night session where I've been. So I've been traveling and we're reading from the ninth chapter Bhagavad Gita, you don't mind.
No, we don't mind.
And then you can come back to this one after I leave. So we're in chapter 9, text 31. Doesn't matter if you have it on the board or not. Shipraham bhavati dharmatma, Shipram bhavati dharmatma, svasvach chantam digachati, kunteya pratijanani, name bhakta pranasyati. Translation. So this was, the previous verse was, even if one commits the most abominable sin, if he's situated in devotional service, he should be forgiven and given a chance to correct himself. That was the previous verse. Do we have to translate or anything? Do we need to translate in German? Everybody knows English? Who doesn't know English? Everybody knows English. I mean, this is Germany. I understand. We might have to translate. When I go to the Ukraine and everything. Okay. You ladies know? You know English? Oh. There's always a Ukrainian contingent somewhere. They're wonderful. I was just in Ukraine. I'm going again next week for a festival there. I was in Kyiv, and they're saying that because of the war, the preaching is better. No, but because there's no atheists on the battlefield. You've heard we say in English. People realize they can die at any second, so why not come to the temple? And whereas in America and Germany, we're not making any German devotees, I heard. German devotees. Huh? Bhakta Bhushan Maharaj was saying, well, at least there. We're mostly getting Ukrainians and Indians. Any Indians here? Yeah. There's another Indian. Okay, anyway, I'm going to read the translation again. He quickly becomes righteous and attains lasting peace, O son of Kunti, declared boldly that my devotee never perishes. But that Prabhupada made a point in the last paragraph that you have to be a devotee. You can't cheat. You can't commit sinful activity on the strength of chanting. You have to feel ashamed if you make some serious mishap. And repent from the core of your heart. And try your best not to fall into temptation again. Avoid the occasion of sin. That's there in the Bible also. So that requires our determination. Like Dhruva Maharaj, he was so determined he was going to find God. Within 6 months, God came directly in front of him because of his determination. Narada Muni was even amazed. Just see the determination of this Kshatriya boy. That's one of the qualities of Kshatriya. He's going to succeed or die. There's no alternative. There's no compromise, no gray zone. He's going to succeed or die. So that was Dhruva Maharaj's mood. And therefore the Lord, he got the bona fide mantra from the bona fide spiritual master, Narada Muni. What was that mantra? Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. And he was just chanting continually. Go on, chanting. Didn't eat even at the end. Or for a while he was eating only dry leaves. Standing on one leg. He was so determined. So we can't imitate that, but we can perform some austerity to help us avoid sin. That's required. Like rising early in the morning. I was joking about Mangalarti. But that's an austerity that Prabhupada recommended, especially temple devotees, that they take that austerity of rising early, taking a shower, and that's the best time to chant Hare Krishna. That's my personal experience. You chant at that time, the rounds are clearer, you hear the better, nothing else comes in your mind. By the time 9 or 10 o'clock, then you're thinking of business and how to make money and this and that. But at that time, everybody's sleeping. You can concentrate with attention. Attention is required. This is the overriding offense. I'll tell you a story. I was given the service of massaging Srila Prabhupada when he came to London in 1969. Actually, I joined in 1968. I moved into the temple in 68. I got initiated in 69. And so I was fortunate to be given that service. And once I was coming to do that service, but Prabhupada was busy. He was writing some correspondence. He just said, sit there. He said, sit there. So while I was sitting in Natra, I had my beads, I started chanting. After I was chanting for a few minutes, Prabhupada stopped his writing and looked at me and said, you listen when you chant Hare Krishna? In other words, I wasn't listening very carefully. And I was thinking to myself, of course I listen, otherwise why am I doing it? But before I could speak, Prabhupada read my mind. He could do that most of the time. He could just, the face is the index of the mind. So he saw my mind and what I was thinking, and he said, I know you listen, but you have to listen very carefully, because this chanting is the essence of our philosophy. So that's instruction that helped me over the years. Another time, I'll tell you another one that helped me over the years. I've been devotee, 55 years. So how am I maintained? I'm a passionate person, sannyasi since 71. Because Prabhupada's second instruction to me that was very important. We were in Vrindavan, 1974, and every night we were coming for the kirtan, 6:30, then a short class, then a second kirtan. Went on for a long time. So afterwards, Prabhupada came back. He was sitting with Shruti Kirti and me. He was on the bed, we were on the ground. Summertime, it was still September. And so he was waiting like before the mosquitoes came to put up the mosquito net. And suddenly he spoke with full conviction from his heart, innermost part. He said, this kirtan is the special mercy of Lord Chaitanya. This kirtan gives us life. And if we don't get life from the kirtan, simply sex life. It's your choice, boys. You want sex life? It's there. Or if you want Krishna, then best to regulate sex life. Even the grihasthas are also advised to be very regulated in their sex activities, because this is the binding principle, man and woman. Because of our attachment to each other, we remain in the material world, because at the time of death, then you're thinking, oh, that girl was so nice, or my wife, or whatever. So we want to be free from that. Purport. This should not be misunderstood. In the 7th chapter, the Lord says, the one who is engaged in mischievous activities cannot become a devotee of the Lord. One who is not a devotee of the Lord has no good qualification whatsoever. The question remains then, how can a person engaged in abominable activities, either by accident or by intention, be a pure devotee? The question may justly be raised. The miscreants, as stated in the 7th chapter, who never come to devotional service of the Lord, have no good qualifications, as stated in the Srimad Bhagavatam, Generally, a devotee who is engaged in the 9 kinds of devotional activities, who's talking? That's right. No problem. Generally, a devotee who is engaged in the 9 kinds of devotional activities is engaged in the process of cleansing all material contamination from the heart. He puts the Supreme Personality of Godhead within his heart, and all sinful contaminations are naturally washed away. Continuously thinking of the Supreme Lord makes him pure by nature. According to the Vedas, there is a certain regulation that if one falls down from his exalted position, he has to undergo certain ritualistic processes to purify himself. But here there is no such condition, because the purifying process is already there in the heart of the devotee, and due to his remembering the Supreme Personality of Godhead constantly. Therefore, the chanting of Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Hare Hare should be continued without stoppage. This will protect the devotee from all accidental fall downs, and he will thus remain perpetually free from all material contamination. So again, kirtan is being recommended, either by japa or loud kirtan. We can avoid, we lose a taste for sinful life. We see it's abominable. We cannot, when we actually see that, then it's easy to give up sinful life. But generally, it takes some time. It's a gradual process. Therefore, Rupa Goswami has given us the step-by-step. First step, have a little faith. Like you all have some faith. You're hearing this message. And the next is that you associate with others who are also hearing this message. And then you take up the process that others have taken up, chanting Hare Krishna and so on, following regular principles. Then the next stage, anartha nivritti. That means you give up your bad habits, anarthas. Anarthas are unwanted habits we have. We've had them since time immemorial, therefore there's a struggle. It takes some time. Generally, it may take more than one lifetime, but by the mercy of Srila Prabhupada, he was just saying, if you follow these four regular principles, chant Hare Krishna 16 rounds, I'll personally come and bring you back to the spiritual world. So that is there. We have very good fortune that we are coming just after Lord Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. Lord Chaitanya doesn't come every kalpa. It's just after a long time again he comes. So Chaitanya Mahaprabhu has come, and we got the 6 Goswamis and Rupa Goswami and the whole line coming from them. Vishwanath Chakravarti Thakur, Baladev Bidusar. These people are not ordinary people. Bhaktivinoda Thakur. Such exalted acharyas we have in our line. What to speak of Srila Bhaktisiddhanta, Srila Prabhupada. So we're very fortunate in that way. But we have to take the process. We give the example of the leaders are there, like birds flying in formation. So they have one bird is leading, but he can't carry the others. They have to flap their wings. So Prabhupada's ready to save the whole world, but we have to agree to be carried by Prabhupada. Agree to follow his instructions. Then we can expect that we'll be free from sinful life. Otherwise, the yogis and the jnanis, after many, many births, what is that, 719? Bahunam jamanamante jnanamama papadyante vasudeva savamiti samahatma sadurlabha. After many, many births, the jnani may also come to the point of not. And the yogi also, after many trials, he may also become to the point. It's mentioned in the end of the 6th chapter of the Bhagavad Gita. The yogi also, who come to the point of worshipping Krishna. He's the highest yogi, Krishna said. So we have the direct process. By the mercy of Srila Prabhupada, we can directly engage in devotional service. Here you have Lord Nrsimhadeva. Here you have Srila Prabhupada Murti. Don't think this is a fiberglass and stone or something. No. The deity is there. Prabhupada is here. And we can engage in their service. Especially Srila Prabhupada is there for everyone for the next 10,000 years. I was in the car, we were coming back from a morning walk in Los Angeles, 1976, and we came a different way so the devotees didn't see us. Prabhupada and the driver were in the front, and 3 sannyasis in the back. I had a tulsi leaves. So Prabhupada saw the devotees on the street. They didn't see us coming in the car. We came from a different direction. And when Prabhupada saw all the devotees out on the street, the children with the dhotis and everything, and saris, Prabhupada spoke with full conviction. He said, they cannot check this movement. This movement will go unchecked for 10,000 years. Why are you taking my water?
I just put it closer to you.
Oh. It will go on unchecked for 10,000 years. So all we have to do is agree to remain at Prabhupada's feet and follow the principles and so on. And our future is very bright. That's a fact. Very bright. Who can check us? Just like Prahlad. There was so much attempt to check his devotional service. Here he is on the altar. But they couldn't check it. Why? Because the devotional service is acting on the spiritual platform, or we're on the spiritual platform when we're performing devotional service. So material element can't stop that. That's the point. If we want to be devotees, nobody can stop us. The parents may try, the government may try. That was going on in America. They were deprogramming devotees and kidnapping them, and but some of the devotees, of course, some were weak devotees. They fell victim to it, but many just didn't. Just waited for a time to escape, and then they left. And there was once on television, the devotees were there, and the biggest, what do they call them? Reprogram people. They call them, yeah, reprogrammers or. Yeah, so he was there. Ted Patrick, black body guy, he was there. So the moderator was in between the devotees and this guy, and there were some other groups there also that he had deprogrammed. So the moderator asked him, in your opinion, which group is the most difficult to deprogram? So this Ted Patrick said, ain't no doubt in my mind, it's the Hare Krishnas. They're really brainwashed. And they were. Prabhupada said, yes, we should have our brain washed. Chaito Darpana Marjan. Cleanse all the dirty things out of your brain. That's our goal. We want to be brainwashed by the Mahamantra. So we have no more dirty things. Okay. Should we do one more verse? What's the time element? 4:48. Oh, we got plenty of time. Okay, the next verse, 32. Mamhi parta vyapasritya ye pisu papayonaya striyo vaisha tata sudras tepi anti param gatim. Translation. O son of Prita, those who take shelter of me, though they be of lower birth, women, Vaishyas, merchants, and Sudras, workers can attain the supreme destination. So, a couple of points. In Kali Yuga, everybody's a Sudra, so the women don't have to feel that they're being singled out. Nobody is a Kshatriya, really. Kshatriya means they die on principle of religion. They don't even know the principle of religion. Like the big Kshatriyas who are Putin or these people, they're bombing their civilian towns and grocery stores, and women and children are being blown to smithereens. Now just in Israel, another war started, right? They're killing people just for no. So the point is, nobody's a Kshatriya or a Brahmin really in this Kali Yuga. But Prabhupada can make us into Brahmins, that's a fact. But we have to, Krishna says when he's talking about Brahmins, cleanliness, austerity, mercy, truthfulness, but these things we have to demonstrate by our work. We have to work as Brahmins, and we have to act as Brahmins, guna and karma. Not that we claim to be Brahmins and still we're, working in a butcher shop or something. So this is the qualification of the Brahmin. And Prabhupada wants us to all to become Brahmins. Women also. He gave them the Gayatri Mantra. That was controversial. But Prabhupada gave the Gayatri Mantra to women and let them serve on the altar in many of his temples in the beginning at least. So why was it? Because we can become Brahminical by training. That's the idea. Of course, still, Prabhupada was not against separation of work. In other words, like one Yogeshwar, he's my god brother, he said to Prabhupada was asking, so what is the next difficulty? And Prabhupada and Yogeshwar said, well, the difficulty, Prabhupada, is that women, they want to work equally with men. And Prabhupada said, our women are not like that. They don't mind working in the kitchen or something. They understand. And that was Prabhupada's point. And then he said, at that time, we don't send them to Japan alone to preach, where Prabhupada sent me to Japan. Because a man, 25 years old, he can be safe in any place in the world. Would you send your daughter to preach in Saudi Arabia or something? No. Because they're vulnerable. They should be protected. Therefore, Vedic culture is women are protected by the father, then by the husband, then by the grown-up son. Kunti was protected by her sons. So this is the culture. It doesn't mean they're kept as slaves or something, or that they're not capable of going back to Godhead. Look at Draupadi. She was so pure that even the Bhishma and Drona had to die because of her. Yeah. Because she was insulted and they didn't stop it. So the responsibility is on the man's side. We don't blame the women for the degradation of society. The society is degraded, that's a fact. That we see at every step. The society is full of sinful life, and like Prabhupada is saying here, they don't have any good quality. We don't see good qualities. And what passes for good qualities is just simply temporary stopgate. Like we give the example, a man falls in the ocean off the ship. He's a good swimmer, so he's swimming. And then somebody comes in a helicopter, and they say, my dear sir, how long have you been in the water? He said, 2 days. I'm so happy to see you. You must be very hungry then, right? So they throw lunch to them and fly away. That's the good work of this world. It's not benefit, the real good work is get them out of the ocean. We're doing the best work. We're getting people to qualify to enter the spiritual world. Other work is not, it's useless. Wet stool and dry stool. Prabhupada, you used to quote this. We think dry stool is so much better than wet stool, but after all, it's stool. So we can't help each other. It looks like, we can feed the people. It doesn't help. These kind of activities don't help. If we give them prasadam, of course, that can help. Prabhupada was often approached in India because he was rich. It seemed like he had so many temples, so much money coming. It was. Money was coming. And they would come, there's a drought in Andhra Pradesh or something. Please give us some money to feed the people. He said, we can come and do kirtan. But he didn't give money. He didn't. He used money simply in Krishna service, not in humanitarian welfare work. But at the other side, he started the Food for Life program there in Mayapur, and they were giving free food to anybody within a certain radius. They could come and get prasadam. So not that we're callous, but that we're intelligent how to use our time and energy. Yukta Vairagya, everything should be used in the service of the Lord. Because the principle of, just feeding the people, suppose you have a man of bad character, and because of circumstances, he's poor and hungry, and so you go and make him strong and give him, so what's he going to do? He's going to go, because he has a bad character, he's going to again be sinful, he's going to steal and rape and murder, whatever, what his propensity is. So how is that good work? The good work is to change the character of the people. And Prabhupada was asked to show a miracle. He said, my miracle is I've taken these drug-addicted hippies, boys and girls, and turned them into lovers of God and humanity. Yeah, we love humanity. Therefore, we want to do the best thing for humanity, which is preach. Get them out of this situation, not just to adjust the temporary situation. The example is given of shifting the burden. Suppose you have a burden on your shoulder and it's troubling you, so you put it on your head. Now I'm so. But the burden is still there, Baba. You're not free from the burden. You can get free from the burden, yeah. The burden is you're accepting the body as the self. Why not hear from Bhagavad Gita? And then you'll become free from all burdens. Sarvadhamma prityaja. Surrender to Krishna. And no more problem. Here also Krishna is assuring us that he'll take care of us. We can attain the supreme destination Krishna is offering to everybody. He doesn't say just the Brahmins, no, everybody. Purport. It is clearly declared here by the Supreme Lord that in devotional service there is no distinction between lower and higher class of people. In the material conception of life, there are such divisions, but for persons engaged in transcendental devotional service to the Lord, they are not. Everyone is eligible for the supreme destination. In Srimad Bhagavatam 2:4-18, it is stated that even the lowest, who are called chandalas, dog eaters, can be purified by association with a pure devotee. Therefore, devotional service and the guidance of a pure devotee are so strong, there is no discrimination between lower and higher class of men. Anyone can take to it. The most simple man, taking shelter of the pure devotee, can be purified by proper guidance. According to the different modes of material nature, men are classified in the modes of goodness, passion, and ignorance. Brahmins, Kshatriyas, and Vaishyas or merchants. And the mode of ignorance, the Sudras. So those lower than them are called Chandalas. They are born in sinful families. Generally, the association of those born in sinful families is not accepted by higher class. But the process of devotional service is so strong that the pure devotee of the Supreme Lord can enable people of all the lower classes to attain the highest perfection of life. This is possible only when one takes shelter of Krishna. As indicated here by the word vyapasvitya, one has to take shelter completely of Krishna, then one can become much greater than the great Gyanis and Yogis. So it's open to everybody. What is the difficulty? Didn't Hari Sari wrote a book like that. What is the difficulty? Prabhupada would often say that. So what is the difficulty? What is the difficulty? The difficulty is if we don't take to Krishna consciousness, we think we can cheat and be devotees at the same time. Therefore Krishna will kick us out. We were coming in the car, we were talking. How come so many big sannyasis fell down after Prabhupada left? Because they cheated. What was the cheating? Yeah. Instead of following in the footsteps of our founder Acharya, they thought they were equal. They imitated him. They demanded right away, big Vyasasans, daily Guru Puj. And who was there? They were enlisting their godbrothers in this service. I remember they were putting pressure on me to do. And, you know, there was at one point I wasn't welcome in any temple in ISKCON because I wouldn't go along with this crap. That they're on the same level as Prabhupada. That's what they were saying. That was the argument. Maybe you even heard of this devotee, Hansaduta. I was friendly with him. Not that I have any animosity towards him. But we were asking him at one point to come on the street with us and chant. He's a good chanter. But he said, no, why is... And then his disciples told me, why are you asking Maharaj to go out and see the face of these materialistic people? I thought to myself, my God, good thing Prabhupada didn't think like that. He came to the lower east side. I mean, I know New York. You wouldn't even drive through that neighborhood where Prabhupada was living in the Bowery. The drunks on the street, the bottles in the pay, you know, it was a horrible place. Prabhupada had to live for a while. And then they moved to 22nd Avenue. That was an upgrade, but it wasn't a good neighborhood. You know, my father was a civil engineer. We lived in the suburbs, nice house. Prabhupada was coming down. He didn't think, I'm going to be contaminated. No, he knew his position. But these people imitated, many of them, most of them. The sad fact is, most of them imitated. There was no real need that every day that they had Guru Puj, that they be exalted. So that's what Hansaduta said to me. He said, I didn't ask to become Guru. Prabhupada made me Guru. Everybody knows Guru is perfect, therefore I'm perfect. And that was his mentality. And then before long he was having sex with his disciples. And doing weird things, shooting the gun into the liquor store. I was there, I saw it firsthand. He's shooting out of the back window of his house in Berkeley, just for the fun of it. Bam, bam, bam. Hansaduta, what are you doing? Oh, I'm just practicing a little bit. With his gun. This is the suburbs. So he went crazy. They all went crazy to one degree or another. By imitation. Nectar Devotion says, who can find this verse there? But it's there. One who imitates the Mahabhagavat, imitates, eventually becomes degraded. The process is anushara, means, right, Nanda? We were talking about this word. There's anushara and anukara. One is imitating, and one is following in the footsteps. So anushara means to follow in the footsteps. That's our duty. So look what Prabhupada, how much struggle he had to make. And it wasn't until he was an old man, 70 years old, before he came out to fully preach. And here we are, 20, 30 years old, or maybe 40 at the most, and thinking we're on the same level as Prabhupada. Guru is one. That was the argument. I was going around and complaining, we're doing this guru thing wrong. And they all thought I was envious because I wasn't a guru. Kirtananda, Satsarup even. I went to them, I said, something's wrong here. But what to do? It's unfortunate because it set the movement back. Right here in Germany also, because of Harikeshas fall down, the movement has been set back. At least 20 years, wouldn't you think? Yeah, I mean, this movement was going, and Harikesh was a leader. He was into book distribution, because I was in Poland when we got word that he fell down. Immediately, the book distributors stopped. We were selling so many books, and after the marathon in Poland, they'd have a big festival in Wrocław, and so many, and it was so much enthusiasm. The number one book distributor was there and there, and everybody was, Haribo, Haribo. They were really into book distribution. And when he fell down, it stopped. Nobody could, the faithlessness filtered down in every direction. Because before we thought they were pure devotees, and we surrendered to them. It's like the surrendering to Krishna. So everybody was surrendering, but when then as soon as one fell down, two fell down, three fell down, then everybody said, well, how do I know my guru's not going to fall down tomorrow? Why should I give my whole life to somebody who I don't trust? And so they stopped giving their whole life. And they became, they had separate interests. And so the momentum broke. Prabhupada left, there was a momentum. Everybody was, so enthusiastic, going out every day, preaching. Everybody, there was nobody. But then when Prabhupada left, it's continued for a couple of years until then. And now we're still, in some places, it's less prominent. Like in India, it's better. Because the Indian gurus didn't fall down. Gopal Krishna, Jayapataka, still going on. And it's in their blood, right? I was just recently in India after a long time. I was very impressed. They had a seminar they were collecting, the brahmacharis all came together. Only brahmacharis. 800 Indian brahmacharis. I mean, these guys are smart. IT men, they're not just bums or something. Or intelligent people coming to discuss. And, so it's booming there. I heard, I was managing a lot, but in 2019, I stopped managing and I decided to travel and preach. And so I was asking, what's the best place to preach? This is what they told me. Best place is India. Second best place, Bangladesh. Bangladesh is also good, but the Muslims spoil it because they kill devotees. It's a sport. Because the devotees are so enthusiastic, they can't tolerate it. But otherwise, they're Hindus, they're Bengalis, a lot of devotees were being made, but I didn't go. And the third best place, they said, Ukraine and Russia. And now they're fighting each other. But those, I my experience in Ukraine is still the best place. And India, of course. India, you can't compare with India. India is like, wow, so many good men. Wherever you go, like if you dress as a devotee, everybody says Hare Krishna to you. At the airport, on the street, everybody says Hare Krishna to you. It's like, my God, this country can. That was Prabhupada's vision. The last 2 years, he took from the West. He preached in the West. He said, now I've done the order of my spiritual master told me to preach in the West. And he said, I've done it. We established so many centers and headquarters in Los Angeles. But now I want to do what I want to do, Prabhupada said. I want to preach in India. And he did. He brought men and money from the West, from Australia, Europe, and America. A lot of money, and they developed 3 big projects. And a lot of money went into it. In Gurukul, in Vrindavan, and along with the Gurukul, the Krishna Balaram Mandir, he built that all up. And then Bombay, the Juhu, big project. And of course Mayapur. So that Prabhupada's he could see this is the most fertile field. You're the Indian, no? So now you have to take seriously this message of Lord Chaitanya. That's all right. Okay, anyone, any questions, comments? Yes.
Can you tell how you joined?
Tell?
Can you tell about the periods when you joined the movement?
Oh, when I joined?
Can you tell?
I can hear. I joined the movement. I moved in the temple in 1968. I first met the devotees in January 1968. They came to the university where I was, and they had a big program on stage with a famous poet at the time. His name was Allen Ginsberg. So a lot of people came, and the chanting was quite dynamic. And then later Prabhupada came there also to that university. So I had a chance to associate with devotees, and then I found out that they had a temple right there in the same city. So I started going. I have a book that about my whole. Well, I had a lot of exchange with Srila Prabhupada, especially in London, where I was gave massage to him every day for about an hour. And he likes hard massage. The first day I gave massage, I said, Srila Prabhupada, I've never given massage before, so I'm going to go to the library today and get a book on how to give massage. We were outside of London. And Prabhupada said, not necessary. You read Bhagavad Gita and Krishna will tell you how to give massage. So I said, okay. That was Prabhupada's mood. Just put Krishna in the center and everything will come out okay. We don't have to stop our devotional service and acquire some skill. Whatever you have, you can use it from that point. Just give your whole heart. That we need to do. Prabhupada was so enthusiastic. He once said like this whole movement's spread on enthusiasm. And he was talking about himself. It's true. I'll give you an example. He called me to his room in Calcutta. Mayapur festival, I think it was 74. He said, so Trivikram Swami, we just got a letter from a Mr. Gaja, a big Indian man. He's the president of DuPont company, chemical company, and they're in Taiwan, Taipei, Taiwan. Taipei is the capital city. So he said he wants to help us establish a center there. So I want you to go, take a few men, and open a center there. He'll help you with the finances. My first reaction was, oh no, the Chinese. I mean, we had Chinese in America, right? But they were always so materialistic, always calculating every penny. Then I was thinking, like we were hippies at one time, right? You never saw a Chinese hippie. You know, it just wasn't in their blood to kind of renounce. You know, hippies renounced the society. They didn't like the society. I wasn't such a good hippie, but... So anyway, by the time I left Prabhupada's room, I was enthusiastic because of his association. He was so enthusiastic about it. Now we're going to China. I came out and saying, wow, we're going to China. We're going to, you know. Prabhupada's enthusiasm is contagious. He was so enthusiastic, he made me enthusiastic. So that's how this mission spread. That's what I'm saying. They lost enthusiasm because the leaders fell down. Then it's hard to get it going again. Otherwise, this movement is really based on enthusiasm. We have the best thing we have, the most wonderful thing we have, and we're ready to share it. Therefore, we should be enthusiastic. What does Rupa Goswami say? 3 things, the first 3 things. Enthusiasm is number 1. Utsaha. Second, what does that mean? Or patience. Yeah. Oh, Darya. So Utsaha, and you can teach me now. Utsaha is the first. That's okay. So go through it, each one of them. What is it in English?
Enthusiasm. Nishchaya is steadiness or determination. Dharya means patience.
Okay, so the third is patience. And determination is the second. Like Dhruva, so determined. And then fourth?
4. Tata karma pravartana.
Following in the footsteps of. What does that mean?
All activities that are conducive for Krishna consciousness.
Oh. Okay, so that's the enthusiasm is in the front. So, are you enthusiastic?
Yes.
Huh? Hari Bol, that's the best you can do? Hari Bol! All right, that's a little enthusiasm. Okay, any questions? Or yeah. What are you over there translating?
Sorry.
Go ahead.
No, I was not translating. Could you please share with us some of your realization about this determination? Like, what kept you chanting for 50 years plus or over 50 years? Every day, 16 rounds. Like, didn't you ever have doubts that you're not, you know, maybe not doing the right thing, or you
No,
could do
yes,
something
I've had
better?
some doubts, but mostly because I learned, evolution and these and scientific things like the planetary systems. So those things gave me some doubt. But I see that those doubts are not very significant, and that people, so many stalwart persons of ideal character and very intelligent, have taken to Krishna consciousness. Just look at the Parampara. And they're all exalted people. They're not just copycats. They've got there by their own individuality and their own personality and their own determination. You can't rubber stamp a pure devotee. They're all pure devotees. Look at them. Coming down, the Goswamis, the Vishwanath Chakravarti Thakur, coming all the way, Bhakti Vinod Thakur. And so I thought, wow, these people, they're so much smarter than me, really, and they don't have doubts, so why should I have these doubts? So I just kind of brush them aside and go on with my service. And then, you see they're not very important about whether the moon is farther than the sun or something. It doesn't. I just go on. Okay, now they brought cookies. So what I'm going to distribute these cookies, but first, somebody has to be chanting while I'm distributing. Who's a good chanter? And then the children will come first. Any children left? No. Children come to get the cookies, but we have to have a little kirtan going, yeah. He's coming. Where are the children? Okay, then a child like women. Yes, women are kind of like childlike because they're so innocent. Mataji. Hare Krishna. Hare Krishna. Rama